Welcome to this presentation on research resources for counseling from the Webster University Library on the home campus in St. Louis, Missouri. My name is Kathy Gaynor, and I'm the library's liaison to the Professional Counseling Department. Please feel free to get in touch with me if I can be of assistance to you as you go through your counseling program here at Webster. In this presentation, I want to provide a brief overview of the resources available to you through the Webster University Library. I'll also cover how to obtain materials from the library and get assistance if you have any questions or encounter any difficulties. In your academic program, you will want to rely more on scholarly journals than popular magazines and newspapers. Many scholarly journals are peer-reviewed, which means their articles have been evaluated by outside experts or peers before they are accepted for publication. This process helps to produce a high level of quality that makes these journals valuable to researchers and students. Scholarly journals also differ from popular magazines in that their articles are usually written by people working in the field, as researchers, faculty, or other professionals. Most importantly, they cite the sources of their information so that fellow researchers and students may verify the information provided. To locate these scholarly journals, let's begin at the library homepage at library.webster.edu. Then click on the blue Research Guides button in the middle of the screen. Then, click on Counseling to the right under Social Sciences. Here on the screen is the home page of the Research Guide for Counseling. Along the left, you'll see a series of blue tabs under which you'll find information on finding books, articles, and other materials. Further down the page on the left, you'll find my contact information should you need assistance. To the right, you'll find a list of quick links which appear on a number of other pages in this research guide. The primary resource for counseling is the PsycInfo database produced by the American Psychological Association. This database covers a variety of journals and other materials on all aspects of counseling, psychology, and psychiatry. Next, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, or DSM, is a well-known resource for definitions, classification, and treatment of mental disorders. The next three databases are good complements to the PsycInfo database. For some assignments, you may be asked to read articles from journals published by the American Counseling Association. The ACA Journals page, linked on the left, provides instructions for how to limit your search in PsycInfo to journals published by that organization. Let's click the link to PsycInfo to do a search. You will need to log in to access any of our databases. When you get to the opening screen, you'll see some search boxes at the top in which you'll type in your topic. It's best to use single words or brief phrases as opposed to complete sentences in these boxes. Let's say that we want to find articles published in American Counseling Association journals about counseling victims of natural disasters. In the first box, I type in quotation marks, American Counseling ASSN. Note that there is no period after the last letter of ASSN. Then I set the corresponding box to the right to PB Publisher. In the second box, I type natural disasters or hurricanes. I use the word or to signal the computer that I want any articles that mention either the phrase natural disasters or the word hurricanes, or both. Adding a synonym or alternative keyword such as hurricanes broadens your search and usually results in an increase in the number of items you find. Notice the word "and" that appears at the left between each search box. This tells the computer to combine what is in each box. In this example, the computer will look for articles published by the American Counseling Association that also mention either natural disasters or hurricanes, or both. If you scroll down the screen from the search boxes, you will usually see a number of options for further limiting or customizing your search. I usually recommend that you only use a few, because the more limits you put on your search, the fewer the articles you're going to find. A few of the more useful ones are publication year, language, and publication type. Be careful about using the linked full text limit at the top left. This limits your retrieval to just those articles with full text linked directly from this database. Setting this limit is fine when you just need a couple of articles, but shouldn't be used when you're doing a large project and trying to do a comprehensive search. Later, we'll see how to request articles you find in your search that don't come with the full text. If you decide not to set any limits before starting your search, you can always set them later after you do a search and get your results. Limit options will appear on the left side of the screen in many of our databases. Here's a record for a journal article retrieved by our search. Notice the subject circled in red. Here you may be able to find alternative search terms such as crisis intervention services to add to your search. The list of subject terms used by the PsycInfo database is known as the thesaurus. You may access it by clicking the link at the top of the page. Searching the thesaurus directly is another good way to find useful, related search terms. Note that a small number of articles was found due to the fact that we limited our search to articles from journals published by the American Counseling Association. To greatly expand our search, we would need to remove that limiter and just search for our topic, natural disasters or hurricanes. Always check with your instructor to make sure you understand the requirements of your assignments. Once you do a search and get your results, you may be interested in obtaining the actual articles for your project. A database may have a direct link to the full text of the article. In other cases, you'll see the article linker message, which you see circled in red. We would need to click the article linker link to find out how to obtain a copy of this particular article. Here's one example of what you may see when you click the article linker link. In this example, the article is not available online, but is available from the Webster University Library here on the home campus. On the left side of the screen, you see information indicating specific locations in the building where you can find this journal. If you're in the St. Louis area, come to the library and photocopy or scan the article. It'll be found on the lower level of the building. On the right side of the page, you'll see a Request It Here option for students and faculty at extended and international campuses or in online programs. We'll see in a second what happens when you click the Request It Here button. If you click the article linker link and see a display like this, it means we don't have any access to this journal. You would need to press the blue Request It Here button to send in a request for the article. In both of the last two examples, clicking the Request It Here button will take you to our journal request software. Here you see that the software transfers the information about the article you want into its request form. You would then submit the request right from the screen. Note that if this is the first time you've used this service, the software will ask you to register, which only takes a few seconds. We'll order the article for you and send you an email when it's available. A link will allow you to log in to our Journal Request software and retrieve your article. You'll click the Electronically Received Articles link to the left under View to go to a page where you'll see the article you requested. Note that most articles come within 2 to 3 business days, Monday through Friday. Make sure you watch for our email and then go in and retrieve your article once you've been notified that it's available. We can only keep articles for 30 days before we delete them. The library pays all costs for this service, so no additional charges are passed on to currently enrolled students and faculty. If you decide to cite an article in your paper or project, you'll need to do so using APA style developed by the American Psychological Association. Many library databases have information that will help you format the reference correctly. In the PsycInfo database, click the article title to go to the detailed record for that article. Then click the Cite link on the right of the screen. Clicking Cite will open a citation format window, and you'll see how to format the citation for your article using various bibliographic styles. Scroll down until you see the APA example. It's important to note that sometimes the database citation can have mistakes. It's fine to copy and paste the reference into your notes or your paper, but make sure you go through and correct any mistakes before submitting your work. On the Counseling Research Guide, there is an APA Style tab in the left column. On that page, you'll find information about APA Style. In addition to journal articles, books are invaluable sources of information. Let's look at how you can find books for your projects. In the Counseling Research Guide, you'll see a blue tab at the left for introductory works, books, and encyclopedias. On that page, you'll find links to some reference books, such as encyclopedias related to counseling. These can be helpful sources for definitions and background information. You'll also see the links in the What Do You Want to Do Today section to the right for finding the library catalog and finding electronic books. The second link, Find an Electronic Book on a Topic, limits the search to just those books available from our library in electronic format. The first link, Search for Books in the Library Catalog, searches both books in electronic format as well as traditional books sitting on our shelves. Let's use that first link to find some examples in the library catalog. Here's a book available in electronic format. You can tell by the icon or symbol to the left. You'll also see that the location is given as Webster Eden Internet Access and that the call number is Online Book. To access this book, click on the title. Here's an example of a traditional book. You can see that the location provides the floor in the library here on the main campus on which the book can be found, as well as the call number. The status on the far right is Available, which means the book should be on the shelf if you are in the library. If you're in St. Louis, you may come to the library and get the book off the shelf yourself. Then take it to the main desk on the first floor for checkout. If you're not in the St. Louis area, but are in the United States, we can send you most books with a status of Available. Click the Borrowing Materials tab in the left column of the Counseling Research Guide for more information. If you're outside of the United States, we can't send you the actual book, but may be able to scan a chapter or two for you. Click the Borrowing Materials tab, and on the page that appears, click the Request Books or Articles link under What Do You Want to Do Today for more information. Let's end by discussing how to get assistance as you work on your assignment. To get help from a librarian, contact me or click on the blue Contact a Librarian button in the middle of the screen. On the left, you'll see ways that you can contact a Webster University librarian. Be sure to use the toll-free 800 number or email if you're outside of the St. Louis area. Note that our chat service is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, except for selected U.S. holidays. Thank you for spending time with me today. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions about this presentation or need assistance with your counseling assignment.